ki mua o te hāpai o ki muri. Kia tawi hōna mana ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tātā. E hōno re he kroria he mau ngārongo ki runga ki te mato o te whenua, he whakaaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Aro haina ngā teina, me ngā tuakana, e noho nei i rungi te whakaaro kutahi, pai marire.
Please be seated. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā haue whā, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki o koutou. Nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare nei, te whare o te kāwana tianara, ki whanganui tara. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all here to Government House in Wellington for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Mr. Tim Costley, Member of Parliament, Mr. Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Mrs. Rānui Ngairimu, our kuia. Tēnā koutou. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty the King of New Zealand. I am delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms. Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read the citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Honorary Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Laurie Hilsgen of Auckland for services to family carers. Laurie Hilsgen established Carers New Zealand, which provides information, advice and support to New Zealand's family, whānau and ainga carers. Under her leadership as the Chief Executive, Carers New Zealand has provided support through several national networks. She provides free information to carers as publisher of Family Care magazine. She developed CareWise, a program that helps carers to continue working and employers to retain staff. She's the New Zealand representative of the expert advisory panel of APEC, Embracing Carers, the International Social Prescribing Collaborative, and the International Alliance of Carer Organisations. Ms. Hilsgen helped establish the New Zealand Carers Alliance, which comprises 60 national non-governmental organisations and works with the government to create New Zealand Carers Strategy, Mahi Aroha, and serves as head of the Secretariat. Ms. Laurie Hilsgen, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Robin Campbell of Invercargill, for services to farming and governance. Robin Campbell was founding chair of the Sheep Council, which established the Focus Farm programme, monitoring and lifting sheep productivity. He was inaugural chair of the Sheep Research Foundation, where representatives from agricultural research, meat and wool industries took responsibility for prioritising the industry's research needs. He was a board member of Ag Research and a founding director of Ovita, which managed funding to increase New Zealand's sheep production using genomic technologies. He was a founding director of Sheep Improvement Limited, the national animal performance recording programme. He was Presbyterian Support's Southland and National Chair. He served 40 years as a Justice of the Peace. Mr. Campbell has chaired several other organisations, including Venture Southland, Presbyterian Retirement Villages Limited, Waituna Partners Wetland Restoration Project, and the Community Trust of Southland. Mr. Robin Campbell, please come forward. Dr. Margot Skinner of Dunedin for services to physiotherapy. Dr. Margot Skinner was instrumental in physiotherapy gaining university status and held several positions with the Otago University School of Physiotherapy, including Deputy Dean. She has held leadership roles with the New Zealand Society of Physiotherapists and served on the Physiotherapy Board of New Zealand. She chaired the expert reference group that helped develop the first shared thresholds for physiotherapy practice standards between New Zealand and Australia. She chaired the Asia Western Pacific region of the World Confederation for Physical Therapy, WCPT, now World Physiotherapy, and was vice president and region representative on the WCPT Executive Committee. She was inaugural chair of the World Physiotherapy Accreditation Committee. Dr. Skinner has supported University of Otago students at Arana and Carrington Colleges and chaired the Columba College Board of Trustees. Dr. Margot Skinner, please come forward. Emeritus Professor Murray Tilliard of Mosgiel for services to health. Emeritus Professor Murray Tilliard was the Chair of General Practice at the Otago School of Medicine and Head of Department at Dunedin School of Medicine. He has produced research findings across a range of GP-relevant topics and published widely. He established and was a director of the Royal New Zealand College of General Practitioners Research Unit. He established Southlink Health, which became the Southlink Education Trust. He was a driving force behind the creation of the Best Practice Advocacy Centre in Practice, providing professional development programs to medical practitioners, and BPAC Clinical Solutions, providing electronic decision support tools for primary care. He was instrumental in achieving the first publication of the New Zealand Formulary. Professor Tilliard was the group's Chief Executive Officer and remains Chair and Chief Clinical Advisor. Emeritus Professor Murray Tilliard, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Professor Carmen Dali of Wellington for services to education. Professor Carmen Dali is the professor at Victoria University of Wellington. She instigated the establishment of Victoria University's Institute for Early Childhood Studies and was its director. She has published numerous journal articles and book chapters and edited 5 academic books. She co-developed an early childhood educator's code of ethics. She regularly speaks at international conferences. She's a member of the Ministry of Education's Early Childhood Research Forum. Professor Dali has judged the New Zealand Prime Minister's Education Excellence Awards, been a referee and advisor for the Education Review Office, and chaired the ministerial advisory group that developed the 10-year Early Learning Action Plan, He Taonga Te Tamaiti. Professor Carmen Dali, please come forward. Mrs. Priani de Silva Curry of Richmond for services to multicultural communities, netball and civil engineering. Priani de Silva Curry was president of the New Zealand Federation of Multicultural Councils and the respective Manawatu and Nelson branches. She has coached talent identification netball teams at all levels and chaired the Nelson Netball Association. She delivers introductory coaching clinics for Netball New Zealand. She was a founding committee member and fundraising manager of Saxton Field Sport Stadium Society. She held several offices with Apopo Infrastructure Asset Management Professionals. She is a patron of a scholarship for emerging asset management professionals. She chaired carbon and energy professionals. Mrs. De Silva Curry has been New Zealand representative and is currently Vice President of the International Federation of Municipal Engineers. Mrs. Priani de Silva Curry, please come forward. Dr. Ingrid Hugans of Hamilton for Services to Education and Māori. Dr. Ingrid Hugans is a community psychologist who co-founded the education program Tangata Tiriti Treaty People in response to calls by refugee and migrant communities for treaty education. She's the organization's national coordinator and helped establish the program Te Tiriti in Our Languages, which produces Tiriti education resources in more than 25 languages. Her PhD traced the contribution of Pākehā treaty education groups to honour Te Tiriti in collaboration with Ngā Iwi Māori. She co-authored an independent report on Waitangi Tribunal hearings into He Whakaputanga and Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Dr. Hugans runs Tiriti workshops, facilitated training and professional development for NGOs, councils, schools, ethnic communities and government groups. Dr. Ingrid Hugans, please come forward. Ms. Janice Malloy of Waikanai for Services to Wildlife Conservation. Janice Malloy was instrumental in bringing together fishing industry leaders, environmental organisations, government agencies, scientists, and recreational fishing interests to establish the Southern Seabirds Trust. She is convener of the Trust, promoting a collaborative approach to reduce the capture of New Zealand's seabirds through fishing activities. The Trust encourages fishers to take ownership of the problem and find solutions by giving them the knowledge and the practical support they need to address seabird captures. Ms. Malloy's contributions have had direct implications for coastal communities, helped the New Zealand commercial fishing industry improve its environmental performance, and assisted the wider international community to sustainably manage oceans and fisheries. Ms. Janice Malloy, please come forward. Mrs. Kirsten Patterson of Lower Hutt for Services to Governance and Women. Kirsten Patterson is Chief Executive at the Institute of Directors. She led the launch of Chapter Zero New Zealand, New Zealand's arm of the global initiative to help directors mitigate climate change risk. She chairs the Brian Pico Ethical Leadership Advisory Board at Victoria University of Wellington. She's a founding member of Women in Sport Aotearoa. She chairs the charity Voices of Hope, providing a storytelling platform for better understanding of mental health challenges. She launched the award-winning podcast Across the Board. Mrs. Patterson chairs the Global Network of Directors Institutes and is a board member of the International Professional Practices Framework Oversight Council for Internal Audit Standards. Mrs. Kirsten Patterson, please come forward. Mr. John Peters of Levin for Services to Governance and Palliative Care. John Peters is chairperson of the two Nelson Tasman Region Hospice Trusts. He was chair during the fundraising and building of the Nelson Tasman Hospice, achieving this with no residual debt and remaining reserves, and has overseen a significant growth in the service for the community. He was Deputy Chair of Hospice New Zealand, twice chairing the International Forum on Palliative Care, and CEO of the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board. Mr. Peters has been Independent Chair of the Nelson City Council's Audit, Risk and Finance Committee and Strategic Development Committee, and Global Director of Information for the New Zealand Dairy Board. Mr. John Peters, please come forward. Mr. Ian Reid of Napier for services to musical theatre. Ian Reid is currently patron and life member of Musical Theatre New Zealand, MTNZ, having been president and vice president. He was secretary of the Napier Operatic Society for 20 years and has worked as production manager and stage crew. He was a member of the MTNZ Consortium Committee, which was instrumental in bringing major big-budget musicals to be staged in New Zealand, such as Les Miserables, Miss Saigon, and Phantom of the Opera. Mr. Reid has supported youth through the National Nola Spear Youth in Theatre Award at the MTNZ Annual Conference and has sponsored youth to attend MTNZ training workshops. Mr. Ian Reid, please come forward. Mrs. Dawn Sangster of Ranfurly for services to governance. Dawn Sangster served on the Maniototo Area School Board of Trustees and John McGlashan College Board. She was the first woman chair of the Community Trust of Maniototo. With Agri Women's Development Trust, she has facilitated several programs designed to support confidence, governance knowledge and leadership for the primary sector. She was elected to the Alliance Group Board of Directors, where she inspired and supported other women to step into governance. She is a director of her family farming businesses, Glenair Limited, Nottingham Dairy Limited, Farmlands Cooperative Society Limited, and Maniototo Irrigation Co. Mrs. Sangster is a Chartered Fellow of the Institute of Directors. Mrs. Dawn Sangster, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the King's Service Medal, Mr. Alistair Argyle of Ashburton for services to the community. Alistair Argyle is a lawyer who's undertaken extensive pro bono work for charitable trusts, sports organisations and community groups. He has offered his legal expertise and business acumen on many organisations, boards and committees. He was a trustee of the Advance Ashburton Community Foundation and helped to establish the Trot's Garden Charitable Trust. He has served as honorary solicitor for many other incorporated societies. Mr. Argyle sat on the Cancer Society's Canterbury West Coast Executive Committee, helping it to establish a new $22 million facility and expand its workforce, and served a 3-year term as the Cancer Society's national president. Mr. Alistair Argyle, please come forward. Mr. Graham Webber of Cambridge for services to local government and farming governance. Graham Webber was a member of Cambridge Federated Farmers, chaired the dairy section of Waikato Federated Farmers, and was director of the New Zealand Dairy Group. He was elected to the Waipa District Council, serving as deputy mayor and chairing numerous council committees. He served on the Cambridge Community Board. He chaired the Sister City Committee with Les Quinois in France and Bihoro in Japan. Mr. Webber has been a member of the Waikato Region Land Transport Committee, the Waikato River and Catchment Committee, and the Future Proof Implementation Committee. Mr. Graham Webber, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you have exemplified the sentiments expressed by St. Francis of Assisi when he said, "Remember that when you leave this earth, you can take with you nothing that you have received, only what you have given. A full heart enriched by honest service, love, sacrifice, and courage." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your outstanding service to our country. Kia ora, e hui hui mai nei I tēnei rā. Now, very shortly, the formal part of this morning's ceremony will conclude, and I welcome you all to enjoy the manaakitanga of the house, and this time, your special time with your family and friends and your loved ones and colleagues. But first, I invite you to look on the back of your program and to see the national anthem in te reo and in English, and I invite you to stand and join with me in singing these.